We'll adjust them like this. You can see, hope you can see now. Then from there, you will slide it like this to point 3. Draw a line, slide it, draw another line, then slide it, draw a line like that. This was 60. Let me erase it. So you can see I have subdivided this line into equal parts. Let's subdivide this other line, this one. You draw a line at any given angle, then from there you subdivide this line into segments, like this. Those are 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So now the last point, which is now 4, you will join it to this point. Like that. Then we will draw parallel lines parallel to this line that you have drawn with your pair of set squares. So you pick your set squares and adjust them. Pick them like this. Then now you will begin sliding like this is better. So I will slide to this line, then slide to this other line, then slide to this other line, like that. So you can see I have subdivided this line into equal parts. Let's subdivide this also into equal parts. One, 2, 3, 4. Then I will join the 4th point up to the center of this line, like that. Then I will draw parallel lines to this line. So with my pair of set squares again. Then again subdivide this one. Like that. Then draw parallel lines to this line. So I slide like this. Again slide. So you can see now I have subdivided this line into equal parts. So now whatever is remaining is to subdivide this line and this line again into equal parts. Then join these four parts, this one up to here. Then draw parallel lines, lines parallel to this line. You can see that my t-square, my set squares are in parallel to this line. Then now I will slide to point 3. Again slide. Like that. Now you can see I've subdivided this line into equal parts, this one. So let's subdivide this other one. Then from there, join this last point, which is number 4. This corner, like that. Then draw parallel lines to this. So you can see that I have subdivided this line into equal parts. It has got also 4 points each. After that, now it is easy. Now, standing at point, let me call this point Q, this point S, then point Z, and point X. So now, I will draw lines from point Q passing through these points. So let me begin. A line from this Q to pass through this point which has been subdivided, this one. Like that. Again, draw another one to pass through this point. Like that. Again, draw another one to pass through. Like this. After that, I will draw others to pass through this point, and this point. So from Q now to pass through here. And they should pass through the points that you subdivided. Now that you are subdividing these lines, you should not draw them touching this. We are not interested in this line. We are only interested in this line. So the other one will pass from Q to this point. Then from Q to this point. Like that. Then we will draw others, now starting from point S to pass through the same points. So let's start with this direction. From S to this point. Like that. So again, from S to pass through this point. Like this. Like that. Then again from S to pass through this point. Like that. So now we are also going to step at S to draw others passing these points. So from S to this point, from S to this point, from S to that other point. So let's begin. From S again, from this S to this point. Like that. Then from S to this point. Like that. So now you can see I've drawn all those lines now. So I've started from point S and from point Q. Now I'm going to stand at point Q to draw others moving in this direction. So it will start from Q to point 1, Q to point 2, Q to point 3, then Q to point 4. Let's begin. Let's begin with Q to point 1, this one. Then Q to point 2, this one. Then from Q to point 3, this one. Then from point Q to point Z, which is the fourth point. Like that. So again, I'm also going to draw other lines now, starting from point Q to this point, from Q to this point, Q to this point, then Q to this point. Like that. Q to this. Then Q to this. Then from Q to this point. Like that. So again, we are also going to step at point S to draw lines starting from S to point 1, S to point 2, S to point 3, then S to point 4. like that. Then S to point to S to point 3. Then S to point 4. Then also, I will also stand at point S to draw lines from S to point 1, S to point 2, S to point 3, then S to point 4. So like this, from S to point 1, S to point 2, then S to point 3, then S to point 4, so now I'm through with now the lines. So whatever is remaining is to sketch a fair curve. Let's now begin with our fair curve to get now our ellipse. So let's begin with point S, like this. So this is the first point, second point, third point, fourth point, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, so now those are my points. So let me join all of them to get my fair curve. Here. So now you can see that I've drawn my ellipse. I think you can see clearly the way my ellipse is at the points that it is touching, like this, all the way up to S. So that is my ellipse. So this curve is the only curve that should be in bold. It is the only curve that should be seen from your diagram. So the rest should be very faint. So thank you so much, students. Get to follow this procedure. I think you have seen it clearly. Now draw the rectangle of the sides 100 millimeters by 60 millimeters, and you get to draw the ellipse using a very smooth curve. So thank you so much. Let's meet in our next lesson.